there's strong supportive spinal data, and I guess the question that everyone's going to ask is, how does that relate to me as a foot and ankle surgeon? I actually think it's not just an interesting question, but probably there's much more parallels than we think. So in the spine, it's a very challenging area. You've got a large cavity sitting where you've taken out a disc and there's a gap. You put a spacer in between the two, like a cage, and then you put in graft, and that graft has to convert, hopefully, to bone to achieve bony union. And that's a really challenging space. Having had a failed bony union in my spine, I can tell you that's a really challenging area. And so if you can achieve bony union in the spine, theoretically that information should translate to other areas. Now in the foot and ankle surgery, we have very parallels with the spine. So for example, when you're converting an ankle replacement to an ankle fusion, you've got a space in the tibio-talar space where the implant's been removed, and that looks very similar to the spine, and often we use cages to fill that space and then some bone graft material into the cages or in the surrounding areas, and we want to know, will that material turn into bone? I think, for me, a really exciting area will be be able to get surgeons to take biopsies to be able to show that it converts to bone, and use radiological outcome measures like CT scans and better refinement of CT scans to be able to see the conversion to, in the Hausfeld units to actually bony trabecular. And I was really excited that I have actually now seen a biopsy sample taken both from the spine and from the inner foot and ankle diabetic setting, where the histology actually shows bony trabeculi crossing over from where was originally synthetic tissue. And I think for me, that's the burning question that everyone wants to know with synthetic materials, is are those materials going to convert or grow into bone or stimulate bone? And for me, that's the most exciting part of the future of evolution of this synthetic story. So those are the areas that I think are really interesting. We should, as surgeons, be able to interpret the spinal data, which I think is very powerful data, but also in the future start getting our own data, start producing data in foot and ankle surgery. I think the challenge with that is that it's a very heterogeneous thing. You've got ankles, hindfoot, midfoot, forefoot, and they're small numbers in each group, and therefore to have a model similar to the spine, it replicated in a large randomized controlled trial, is going to be a big challenge. But there are other areas we can get data, for example in registries, prospective follow-up studies, and I'd encourage not just foot and ankle surgeons but other extremities surgeons and other therapy areas to look similarly in how we'll get that data as we move forwards.